Welcome, everybody. Mi nombre es Mass Blast 09, aka Neon, for you tonight. Here with me is Understudy 77.
Mine is not as cool as yours. Not even a little bit.
It's also back.
Fuck.
It's not backwards, you bastard.
There's mine right now.
This one says OP.
John's
OP.
right now. Yours says
Mine was backwards.
Oh.
Yeah, Sean is OP.
OP is a bundle of sticks. And we have Fubaka.
What's up?
And last but not least, we have the man with the plan and the Voop Light shirt on his chest. It is the Angstful Vapor.
I'm never least of anything. I'm usually most of most things.
You are most of white people.
And I'm
Welcome, everybody. We got Crucifixion's Halo going on tonight.
It looks like a crucifixion's yarmulke.
Fitting for tonight's guest. Actually, you know what? I'm done doing the Vapor Joe thing. Hang on.
Well, you had to.
All right.
You had to for the light show.
Yeah, the light show. You know how it goes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, welcome everybody to another episode. What are we? We're like on episode like 43.
We are once again late, which has become normal. So just be prepared for that.
I think this is the latest we've been.
It's only like 2 or 3 minutes.
We're talking 3 minutes. It's nothing.
And it's all Sean's fault because that damn horse would just not tie off.
And I think today, pretty much all of us are tired.
I look tired.
I made the mistake of not taking off of work today.
Same.
Oof.
I did not make that mistake.
So how was that? How was that vapor carnage?
Well, those get there. Why don't we do what we're vaping first?
Oh yeah, stay on task. Stay on task, guys.
Stay on target.
Go ahead, Angsty.
Pretty sure that's me that starts the order.
That's why I think I go second.
Well, go ahead, Foo.
Okay.
Mr. Purple Nurple over there is all messed up.
Okay, bitch. Anyway, I got my flagship.
Yay!
I'm vaping some perdition out of it on the Stellaire, and I've got the K-foam with the raspberry on the Angsty.
Standard operating procedure. The rose filled with the raspberry. Tonight I have the K-Fun on the DZ is actually full of this deliciousness, which is Lushington, which we'll talk about in a little while. And I'm dripping a beta that apparently is not going to be out for a while, but it's called Golden Road, and it's really, really good. But we'll talk about that later. That's what I got going on. How about you, Understudy?
I have the Cyborg K-Fun Raspberry. I'll talk about that in a little bit. I also have another new one, and this is a shocker right here. Microstick K-Fun Mini. And
Yay!
Warrior by Stick. But it's a mech.
You got it in. That's awesome.
And I'll talk about that in a little bit as well as this juice right here that I picked up over the weekend. But that's all I got in front of me today. Go ahead, Mast.
Nice. There's my overlay. I have a new device that came in, and we're going to be talking about later on. iStick by eLeaf, and on top of that, I just got straight up Cardo with some Irish Car Bomb from Vape Kitchen, and in the yeah Cardo tank. Yep, going old school. It flows. I mean, it looks kind of funky when you put a 18650 or sorry, 26650 size Addy on there. So went with the tank. And on the Mass Mods Micro DNA 40, we got the Sigeli Taiji with some Cinnamon Girl from Stashy Liquids, who we're going to be talking about tonight. So there you go.
Sweet.
So
So
we want to
who's
start.
going to talk about con?
Well, Mass, do you want to start with the giveaway since we got people here?
Ooh, that's probably a good idea.
Sure. Yes, so we have 2 giveaways going on tonight. The first one is going to be a bottle, a 30 ml bottle of each of Vaporator's Stash e-liquids. So you're going to get the whole line. That's, I believe it's a total of 5 juices. So because he just went live with another juice. So those who saw the post earlier and saw 4, guess what? You're getting 5. So and for that's for first place. For second place, it's going to be a 60 ml of your choice. His juices come in 0, 3, and 6, and delicious juices, by the way. What's the contest? Well, the contest is we wanted some Grateful Dead cover art done in paint. No Photoshop. You guys know the drill. We've done this before. No Photoshop, nothing crazy. Something like paint, something very basic. So we want to see that.
Pixlr for Mac.
Pixlr, if you got a Mac.
Yeah, Pixlr. I think there's another program out there too that's
There's a couple. Basically,
there is. So
if it's got advanced user tools, go fuck yourself.
yeah. And the second prize that we're giving away today is going to be the E-Holly. You saw me talk about it. It's the 35 watt, pretty much the successor to the Vamo. 35 watt tube mod, really nice. Single 18650, built pretty heavily. I believe it was 3 or 4 shows ago that I did a review on it. Great device. Thanks to the folks over at Veritube, veritube.com. We'll be giving this away, and this is the 35 watt. Great for someone's just going off the egos, looking for something to move up. So if you're interested in this, the contest for this one is write us a short little poem on why you should win the E-Holly.
Forget a short one. I want to see an epic.
You want to see an epic? Okay, well, someone can give Anxie an epic. That doesn't mean that you're going to win because it's longer. So yeah, the E-Holly. I just think it's got a funny name, for tube mod. But anyways, you go from something like Vamo to E-Holly. It's not even. Never mind. But anyways, and also just as a note for anyone participating that is outside of the U.S., Canada, overseas, stuff like that, we will be, asking for you guys to maybe help out with some of the shipping, since it's so much more. If you're in the U.S., you're cool, no worries. If you do win and you're outside, shoot us a message and we'll talk to you guys.
We should also say that the guys over at Stash have been kind enough to open up a coupon code for us as well.
Yes,
absolutely.
So if you use the coupon code Plumes, that's what, 15% off?
Yeah,
So
15% off.
If you don't win and you still want to try some of the juice, and trust me, I'm sure you're going to want to try it after the show.
Yep.
The coupon code Plumes will get you 15% off. So write that down because we might.
And the coupon code is good till the end of the month, I believe.
So what if I use my own coupon code to order juice?
I'm probably going to do it myself.
Like if I were to order from Vaporator and use Plumes, is that a dick move? I don't know.
I think I'm going to.
I thought you had your own coupon code.
I did too, Matt. So I was like,
I was waiting for it.
Sweet.
I was like, wait, that's not fair. I want my own coupon code. You just be like Plumes 09. I mean, speaking of the coupon codes, though, I saw today somebody sent me a picture. I think it's kind of funny. Apparently, I own a trucking company. Someone sent this. I'll put the picture up here. Let's see. Let's see if we can share the screen. This is actually I can't share that because it's got inappropriate stuff. But anyways, it's called Math Trucking. So I'll make sure I get a picture of that, an appropriate picture. So there you go.
All right, all right.
So-
Somebody said they missed the code. The code is Plumes, 15% off Plumes.
Really, they missed a code. Plumes. Somebody spell it out.
There we go. So do we want Foo? You want to start the con talk?
Yeah, hotel fictions.
Hotel fiction. I agree completely.
Here's the thing. We talked to this. Okay, in short, it's the same space that they had VaporCon at last year at the Clarion in Richmond. And the thing is, it's a small space, and I understand Lou's intent that that's more of a social event. At the same time, I don't know. I had a hard time sitting in there for more than 20 minutes.
Well, that's because it's a social event.
Yeah, it was just like
1,000 cloud chasers.
and there are more people using high wattage devices now.
The theme of the weekend legitimately became, and I'm starting to hashtag it now. You can't live in vapor.
Can't live in vapor, yo. As the the Jay Bigglesworth said, I can't live in vapor, yo. But I had a hard time sitting in there in the actual convention for more than 20 minutes, half hour at most.
It was a good time. Outside of that, it was a good time. It's a small.
Oh yeah, it's great.
It's a small environment, but the people are really fucking friendly. They were fucking fantastic to us.
Oh yeah,
great. Luke was in early. We got a whole bunch of interviews and shit. I'm going through all the videos now. I'm gonna cut them and upload them so that
good ones.
See it.
It was good times.
Nitro, what up? All the Plumes peeps that we saw. Thank you.
Richmond Vapor View comes to mind. We saw him. He tagged us like 6 times on Instagram. I can't forget him at this point.
Yeah, it was very solid. A couple of people that I thought were going to be there weren't there.
I want to do a Plumes of Hazard misconnection.
I want to fucking finish what I was saying.
It never failed. Just
anyway, the real hotel fictions begin with the fucking restaurant. They both days, Friday and Saturday, they scheduled one server at the con.
Wait, you guys ate at the restaurant at the hotel?
Yeah, it was a Mexican place.
Why? You didn't go across the street to the little diner?
We were going to Friday night, and then an unnamed person decided, hey, we should go somewhere else. So we didn't get to go there. Anyway, server took us forever to get our food. Just general blah blah blah. I figured they would have figured that out from last year. But very very vape friendly hotel.
Oh yeah.
Very.
Oh yeah. Then that's why Lou likes doing it there, because they're very supportive and cooperative with the con and everything.
So no alarms went off every 5 minutes?
Nope.
It did go off at the Comfort Inn.
It did. They evacuated the whole building.
And I wasn't there. Not me.
Wow.
It was neither me nor Foo.
I set it off at the the embassy in North Carolina, but I was actually at the con when this happened. But wasn't me. I didn't do it.
Wow.
But for the missed vaping connections, this one's courtesy of Flab Rat Liquids. Apparently, we were all standing outside. We were all sitting by like the archway, and we were just kind of sitting there shooting the shit.
See, Stare Dreamer knows.
These 2 guys walked past, and they looked at both me and Foo, and they were like, and then they kept walking, and Lab Rat Mark heard them say, "I watch that show all the time. You should have fucking stopped and said hello." We like to meet people. We carry stickers to give to you. Stop and say hi next time.
Sean has a like a coin dispenser, or like a coin pay system. Stroke my ego, 25 cents.
Oh, dude, it doesn't cost 25 cents.
Stroke my ego, pet the horse.
I pay other people to pet the horse. I give them stickers. They pet the horse, I give them stickers. That's the way this works.
It costs 1K fund to stroke my ego.
And a 30 mil and a cyborg.
Hivesicle in chat just said, "Hey, did anybody see the world's longest beard contest the other day? One of the contestants looked just like Foo, but with 50% more beard."
Impressive.
I'm gonna need a picture of that.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we'll have some video and stuff up soon. That's all I really have to say about
some of the
it.
pictures, even though no one had the idea. I know, Andy. I hear you, Andy. You're over there probably watching this going, I thought about it and I told them, but I forgot. No one had the idea to get all you guys together to get a picture. A group picture. Like we did the year before. It's very important because, people end up disappearing.
Speaking of which, I probably won't see you guys again after this show.
It's good to have pictures so you can put them on milk cartons with our Well, how's it go? He can build a box, but he can also disappear?
That was well done.
Yeah.
Well, that's an ode to an old long lost soul.
So what else you got, Sue?
Oh, shout out to Denny's.
Yeah.
To who?
The Denny's. Oh, by the way, if you find a Stellaire and a Plume Veil, throw them in the trash.
Yeah.
I'm talking to Alonzo right now. He's pinging me about some stuff. Sorry.
Oh, great time to do that when you're supposed to be managing for the show.
I know.
This is why hashtag white people happens, because they're doing business. Me and Fool are over here paying attention. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I had nothing to offer. I wasn't at this con. I was just letting you guys do your thing. Whatever. It's cool. Go ahead. I'm multitasking, baby.
This is like us talking about con right now is like the first big conversation I'm even having with the other two about it, because I haven't. Yeah.
This is true.
Someone just said, "Oh, this project, where in the world is Qatar like San Diego?" I don't have that soundbite. I'm so sorry.
Oh man. All right. Anything else, Foo?
Trying to remember. I don't think there's anything else. I mean, Nitro. Oh yeah, there's a lot of sticker tagging going on.
Yeah, I saw a picture. Nitro.
There's a lot of sticker tagging.
Nitro, dude. He was like 9 or 10 stickers deep before he.
You know what Nitro reminded me of? He reminded me of when you go to a tire shop and they got all the stickers off the tires that they stick in one place. That's what his back looked like. He had so many stickers on his back, I didn't even know.
And then he took off his shirt and then peeled the sticker.
Everybody was blinded by the light.
Yep.
All right. What you got there, Angsty?
For reviews, I've got a few things. I wanted to do a little follow-up on the RDNA, since before I only had it for a day or two before we had it on the show.
I got reviews too. I'll go later.
Oh, sorry. I thought you had. My bad. Go ahead, man.
No, I thought that was just con.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Go ahead and do your reviews.
All right. Well, very quickly, I got my flagship.
Sorry, it's cool.
This thing, I think I talked about when I played with it. I posted pictures. Well, I finally got mine. It was ordered, came in last Tuesday, and I got it. This thing's fucking awesome.
Is it just called the flagship?
The flagship mod. It's made by SMK Mod.
SMK?
Yep.
Nice.
They're based in the U.S. I forget where specifically. I'm actually trying to get them on here. But this mod, I'm dripping this very quickly. I should be showing it to you. It retails from anywhere. Like online, you'll find it like 100 to 110. Like in shops, at most 130, depending on the finish. It's made in the U.S. It's authentic. It's got a floating pin, ball bearing switch. It's a little stiff the first week you have it, but once it breaks in, it's just like, bam,
Butter.
burr.
Very nice.
Is that got like a Manhattan style stiff throw? It looked like you were pushing that a little hard.
It's a firmer throw than what's hot right now on the market,
Yeah.
because this thing doesn't need a locking ring. But I like it's a stiff throw, like you got to put a little force in it, but it's smooth.
Does it still have magnets in it?
Ball bearings.
Oh, ball bearings. Okay.
So I don't think I'll be opening that thing up anytime soon.
Well,
And,
ball bearings for the. That's not what's returning it, though, is it?
There's springs and bearings compressing and then decompressing.
Okay, springs and bearings. Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, it's not just straight bearings like billet box lid style now.
Right. Right.
And I got this
That's awesome.
from Senor Joe Litt.
Oh, very nice.
That thing's so bright I can hear it from here.
It's like a custom painted gig. It looks very early '90s.
That's cool.
Yeah, it does. It's awesome, man.
For any of my guitar playing compadres, I've been a Steve Vai, early '90s model. I forget what year. That's what this reminds me of. This color scheme.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, big up to Joe Litt. Thank you very much. It's great. DNAs are nice. I mean, in terms of the quality, the efficiency, the chip, and actually delivering power, it's a lot better than my iStick, but obviously because of the DNA chip. But iStick is still better in the form factor department, so I would have had to futz with the power a bit.
We briefly mentioned Sticker Game too. I figured I would share this with you guys. None of these have been shared yet, by the way. So
Wow.
This is the first time.
I assume those were not known that they were installed on his back.
Not at this moment, but we're getting there. He's just not figuring it out.
Shout out to JJ from Fluid Vapor, dude. He is fucking surgical.
Mark is getting him while he figures them out.
Oh.
And hold on, okay, the shirt is coming off, and Mark still stickered him again.
Nice.
And then somebody else got this girl.
Oh.
That's dangerous. She's wearing a Sons of Anarchy freaking. Oh. Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Oh, dude, he bought a stainless flagship. He's now Mr. Steal Your Swag.
He did, yeah. He did buy a
I mean,
stainless.
he did get a hell of a deal on it. He got it for under $100.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very solid mod.
Cool.
Very cool.
Oh, and also my first authentic.
That's right.
Because I don't endorse clones.
Sorry, I had something stuck in my nose. Yeah, you also got that new the new tip, right, for your dripper?
Oh yeah. Nick from Delaware Vapor, Tim Tebow, man. Hooked me up with a Loki Lab tip.
Wow.
Those router tips look so good on top of that thing, man. I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm. That is sick.
Much thanks for that, dude. I really appreciate it.
Oh, that was a present?
It was.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Steve Beard. Steve Beard juice. That I got. I haven't tried it yet. This is gonna get a steep, so you'll hear more about this next week.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, on to you, Angsty.
Cool. So I wanted to follow up on the Vapor Shark, like I started saying a minute ago, and I've had a couple of things that I wanted to mention again. It's really quite hefty. What?
Lab Rat just messaged me. He's like, "You got my beta too, fucker." Yeah, I did. Exactly how much of it I have left. Shit is bomb.
Yeah, it is.
Nice. So the weight has not bothered me as much as I thought it might, because it is a hefty little guy, but it is small enough where it really doesn't matter. The buttons still rattle, and that is kind of annoying because you do hit them by accident when you're using it and stuff. But I haven't had that 510 issue again, and I've had stuff off and on it here for a while now. The 510 issue is fine. I love the clicky button. The battery life is surprisingly good, considering it. This one did not come with the VTC 4. No, VTC 5. It was supposed to come with the VTC 4, and it didn't. It came with the panny. But it works great, and I've had no problems with longevity. It's lasted me all day, running about 20 watts, and it works really really well. I don't think did I have anything else that I wanted to say about it? I don't think so. Overall, yeah, no, overall I still like it. The one thing there's a little wacky. So since now that I've been using it more often, the screen's on the bottom, right? And they're so thin. Even this 22 millimeter one is so thin. When you set it down, it's not terribly stable. So I really haven't been. I've been doing the Gosmod's Duke style storage, which is just throwing it down on something. That's how.
So is it flat on the bottom?
On the sides or whatever, or on the bottom?
No, on the bottom. Yeah.
On the bottom, it's got a little ridge to protect the screen, and that's what it sits up on. And I think that's also what makes it, because it's even thinner than the box. It's just a little, if something bumped the table or whatever, it could go down. But the sides are kind of protected and pretty rugged, so I've got no scratches or anything. And then again, I'm really careful with my stuff. When I put it down, even on the side, I set it down. I don't throw it.
And that is the RDNA by Vaporator.
Yeah, that's the RDNA. I've really liked it. It's been really good. Do I wish that the real life needs and stuff hadn't have jived or hadn't have prevented me from waiting for the 40? Yeah, maybe. But that goes into the next thing that I was going to say is I'm having a couple of my existing mods upgraded to the 40, so I get to play with that at some point soon. My A-Mods is back at the shop to get a little repair done anyway, and he's gone to, thanks to Joe Litt, by the way, I bought a board from him, and Alonso's going to upgrade that post-haste, which is great. I'm pretty excited about it. We had Lance on, we talked about it, Raul's talked about it a good bit, and I kind of want to try the whole, vaping on a short thing for a little while. Because it sounds intriguing, and that goes to one of our news things, which we'll talk about in a little bit. The only other thing that I've got to talk about this week is I wanted to let everybody know that cue the music row, the Rose. They just said no. It's gonna be a minute. I want to quickly mention that they released a 2.5 version, and really the only difference is it's the same base, but they're all now shipping with the Stumpy kit. Which is, it's kind of nice, right? Before you had to buy a $200 Addy and then a $75 Stumpy kit. Now the Addy comes with the Stumpy kit, which is awesome. And that's all I'll say about it.
Nice.
Oh, side note, Sean, Jay says you look like a broke-ass Grimace.
I just did.
Nice. To continue on sticker game there.
Nice. Hey, isn't that the guy from that biker show?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, dude, I rode down with him. He's a buddy.
What's his name?
Ron Perlman.
Yeah, Ron Perlman. Somebody zoom in on his face, please.
We love you, Eric. It's cool.
He's gonna kill us.
He's gonna kill us. All right.
That is Eric, the guy who makes the guitar pedal SX mod.
Silverstein Vapor, yo.
Silverstein Vapor. All right. So that stuff aside, while I was at con, I got a Cyborg by Fluid.
A black Cyborg too.
I had for a long time kind of felt like the Cyborg was unfinished.
It's a Blyborg.
Well, I had kind of thought that it was unfinished. It was when the body was aluminum and the 510 was aluminum and everything, and they didn't have the mech button, and it had always kind of felt like an unfinished device. And then I played with one this weekend. I mean, they engraved Cyborg on it, real nice machine engraving. It's the aluminum head, and now they have the full mech button out, so you can pop off the entire module and make it just a full mech.
Very cool.
Biggest downside is way too fucking long, and 490 battery dies in 3 hours. But
Sean, is your keyboard on your computer matching the color of your shirt?
are you talking about the purple shirt?
Yeah.
I needed a shirt that wasn't covered dog hair. Vape Dojo was kind enough to give me this shirt at con.
Oh, look at that!
Purple shirt.
Hashtag kickbacks.
Hashtag kickbacks.
Hashtag kickbacks.
Hashtag broke-ass Barney.
So Google screwed up pretty hardcore, and I missed that. You said that there was two things about it. And I caught the end of it that your 490 died in 3 hours. Is that right?
My 490 died in 3 hours. It's too big in an 18650.
Gotcha.
And it's 23 millimeter, not 22.
That is one of the very few reasons that I don't own one already.
I will say that the 510 is pretty well chamfered, so you don't really.
Okay. Okay.
It doesn't look terrible.
Yeah.
I like it a lot more than I thought I was gonna like it, to a point that I've been using it pretty much.
Yeah, and everybody who's watching, and if you're watching after, bear with us because I am seeing Google take their shits.
Yeah, Google is taking some shits.
They must be looking at all those Amazon Fire phones and giggling. So, anyways,
in that, I have Raspberry and the K phone. When I got back, I came back to this package. I've been looking for a K phone Mini to try for a while. And the dude offered me a really good deal on a K-Fun Mini, and with the micro stick, it was $150 for both together.
Which is amazing. It's a fantastic deal.
Which is a really good deal. So I got it in when I got back, and I sat down and I built up the K-Fun Mini. It's 1 ohm, and I threw in some Tom Steambeard Warrior juice, which is it's coconut cream pie, but I detect a hint of rum as well in there, like a rum coconut cream pie. I'm not overwhelmingly preferential to the rum, but I like every other flavor note in it.
But I can see how a coconut flavor might be a little alcohol-y kind of to your nose.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Maybe.
Guess what? We can ask the guy when he comes on.
Hey, there you go.
Steambeard?
Who do we have as a guest on? Man, what is wrong with you?
I'm tired. Fuck you.
You are tired. Seriously. Thank you. Thanks
So
for the
tell
mute.
me what you think about the Mini, because you and I talked about that when you were buying it.
You're right. It's not as good as a K-Fun.
Yep.
It's not a bad vape. It's vaping really well at 1 ohm on a mech.
Mm-hmm. That's what I use mine on.
I think what it's going to come down to is I'm never going to push this as hard as I push a K-Fun.
Yes.
I don't think I'm ever going to get what I want out of it if I push it too hard. Now, if I push it softer, like on this, I'm going to be very happy with it.
Yeah. I tweaked mine a little bit, because what I found is that it didn't wick as well as a regular K-Fun. And so when I changed my wick up a little bit to make it wick better, I always got just a bit of a gurgle if it sits for a little while.
So I'm not getting gurgle yet, and I haven't had a dry hit yet, but it did flood to fuck when I was filling it. I hate that side fill hole.
I never once used that because I didn't have any of the little needles. I always top filled it.
Which is probably what I'll do going forward. I did get this and another Steambeard juice. I haven't gotten to the other Steambeard juice. He's a local guy. I've known the guy for probably a year, and I've never really vaped his juice. We just gossip.
How do you like the micro stick?
It's really well made.
Mm-hmm.
The button is really nice. It feels really good. It's a very comfortable size. It's tiny as fuck.
Yeah.
And I'm quite happy with it, to be honest.
Mm.
I don't know if it's something that I'll keep. I'm so happy with this.
Right.
But
that's in 350 mode, right?
Yeah, it's a cool piece to own.
Yeah. And relatively inexpensive, even if you paid retail for it, it's only like $150 or something, right? Do you have the 490 extension?
I don't know, but I might pick one up.
Yeah.
Because that'll give me a little bit more out of it.
Well, it'll give you more life, and it'll also give you just a little more to hold on to, right?
Yeah.
It just takes a little longer.
We already talked VaporCon. We talked a little bit about some of the guys that we met and some of the people that we met. And, I mean, we met a lot of cool people. It was a good time hanging out with the guys from Fluid, Rob, the Vape TV guys. We got some really good interviews. We got an interview with Cisco. We got an interview with Zen.
Oh, is that right? I know you got to talk to Cisco. That's fun.
Cisco, he told me afterward that he appalls interviews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he called me a fucker.
Nice.
One.
I think he called Steve Asardo a fucker too when he did an interview.
One of the cool things that he's doing though, and I haven't tried it yet, which is why I didn't mention it. He is rewrapping Spire Nautilus coils, spec HH357 coils.
Is that right?
That's pretty damn.
He makes Aspire. That's one of the few things that I bought while I was there was one of his Aspire Nautilus coils.
Have you tried it yet?
I have not.
Okay. You need to let me know how it does in the Nautilus and.
Yeah, they're $10 a coil, but they're not disposable. You don't chuck them. You burn them out. And
what is he using for wick?
I didn't ask.
It must be silica, right?
Yeah.
It's a 357 coil.
He said the flavor's on par with like the HH357. There's no muting, and you can run them hotter.
That means it's probably mesh.
It very well may be. But
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of excited about that because his HH357s are really sweet.
Huh.
I didn't think about putting mesh in there. That's interesting.
The other thing I got to play with was the Gnome V2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I'll tell you, for $100 mech mod, the thing's freaking sweet.
Yeah.
Well, the word gnome down the side and the button are machine engraved, not laser etched.
Right.
The button does not misfire, and it's a really good feeling button. It's a magnetic switch, and it feels good.
Hmm.
And just the whole mod together, it's a nice mod. Like, it is a mod that I would have expected to pay more than $100 for.
Cool.
So I know they're coming out soon, so that'll be nice. And then, of course, Lab Rat's beta, which he tells me will be live soon. I shit you guys not. I tried this thing in the hotel room the first night. I re-wicked and I tried it out. And I tried it. I took one hit. I looked at him and I just stared for a second. I said, "What?" I said, "Who the fuck are you?"
I was there for that. You did say that. And I'm like, what the fuck are you on?
I was on nothing. It's just, it's a very heat-dependent juice, though. The cooler it is, the more cocoa you get. The hotter it is, the more fresh strawberry you get.
Yup.
And it's a really, really good, almost like a strawberry chocolate, like crepe kind of flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Really good.
Cool.
Very light.
What's the magic, like, get a good amount of both sort of wattage?
I was probably around 27 or so before I started to get what I thought was a really nice blend.
Cool.
About 27 watts, and I got a real nice blend. It was a little heavy on the cocoa at 17, where I usually am.
It's light enough to all day, which is nice.
It is.
Oh, is that right? Because I wouldn't think that, but you got a chocolatey kind of whatever.
It's like you get the best of like a pastry vape without oversaturated flavor, which is nice for those, but I can't all day those liquids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, and before I close, I do want to say thank you one more time to Lou and all the coordinators down there too. They were freaking great, man. They let us in early. All the vendors let us bug them and do interviews while they were setting up. Like, we were treated exceptionally well while we were there.
Many awkward moments going up to vendors that were setting up. They're like, come back in an hour.
We got some really good back and forth. So there's a lot of footage of us videotaping Nitro while Nitro's videotaping us.
Very meta or something.
I know the Dog Mods, the 100-watt SX chip was a big hit while he was there, and so I'm looking forward to Vapor Slam. Masty, go.
All right. I got. We'll keep this quick. I don't know if you guys saw, but the SX Mini, SX350 Mini, should I say, board from Yeehee, actually finally made it out, and after much yelling and picking and prodding at Yeehee, because at one point, and if you still go to their site, it still shows that it's not for consumer release, it's only for manufacturers. They got so much push from people to actually release this, so the board will be available, hopefully, crossing our fingers here, by the end of November. This board, I don't have the actual measurements of it, but it features a smaller screen. It's going to feature the temperature control. It's going to feature the measuring of the power in joules. And if you want to know more about that, you can go to either their first Facebook page and find out. But here's a picture of it. As you can
onboard
see,
USB, huh?
and it has onboard USB charging. So we'll zoom it in and take a close look here. There's your screen, and it's got like a small screen cradle, kind of around the same area as the other one has. There's your button on the with a small board, so you can screw it into whatever. There's onboard buttons for up and down. Okay, and then there's the USB port for local USB charging, and you can kind of see the two holes for the battery there. Now, mind you, this battery or this board is in something that I'm trying to find a picture. It's something called the SX Mini. Okay, so it's a small single 18650 Zen looking, ZNA looking device, but it's got it's got this board in it. Now those are retailing for around 190. There is no price on this board yet. Let's go to another picture here so you guys can see, and we'll zoom in a little bit. There's no pricing on this yet. Specs are anywhere from 5 watts to 60 watts at the moment. As you can see, this one at 60 watts, and you can see the joule measurement down there at the bottom, and there's a that looks like a default of the M5 with the different menus, and the rest of the board there. So no pricing on it yet. Hopefully end of November. Now, if you guys go out and look at some of the specs, some you'll see that'll say single battery mode. Well, the reason for that is because this board is going to feature a controller where you can have a single battery, so you can have a single 18650 at a minimum of 3.2 volts, nominal 3.7, or you can have dual batteries. So you can have it in a stacked device or a box that's providing higher voltage, and with that, there have been talks about moving closer to, with the single battery, you can, in the bypass mode, you can technically get 85 watts out of it. 60 watts is the normal regular output mode. So with the stacked, I believe that they'll be able to go above the 100 watt with the same board, which is something that for safety concerns they limited on the SX350, on the normal size one. They came out with the thicker wires, everything else, but hitting those batteries with high amperage is what really hurts you. So having that higher voltage lowers the amperage, so you can get up there higher. I posted about this on Reddit today, and some of the comments, I agree with the sentiment of people hoping and wishing that they would stick to these style boards, which are getting smaller and more. I call them more action-packed because there's more features in there, versus their temperature-controlled, Bluetooth-enabled, 3.5-inch screen, which is something that's coming out at the end of December. So they have a lot of irons in the fire, and they still need to get some things done, like the charging board for the 100-watt SX350, which will do balancing. That's still in the works. So I'm hoping that they're getting feedback from people saying get these things done first before worrying about keeping up with everybody else. So, but there you have it. There's the SX Mini board, and there was also some other news about if you have an IPv2S. The version 2S is out, IPv2, where you can go to Yeehee's site and you can update, and that update will take you from, I believe it takes you to, is it 80 or 100 watts on the IPv2? I think it's 80. I'm not 100% sure, so somebody in chat, if they know on the IPv2, it's the update for the SX330. You cannot use it on the SX350, so make sure it's the 330 on the IPv2. So, and other than that, I believe that's all I got.
I missed one thing.
What's that?
Well, I wanted to say one of the things that I found kind of the most impressive about the Cyborg piece is that they're selling just the mech without the attachment for $99.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
You can go buy a made in the USA mech for $99, and then later on, if you want to get the DNA module, you'll be able to purchase that separately.
Nice.
That's cool.
Which that's the kind of modular system setup that I kind of dig, to be honest. Like, that's a cool piece.
So, you just take the top cap off, and then take the head off, and then you put the top cap down the tube?
Yep.
Okay.
And then you take the bottom cap off, and you throw the switch
right
to turn it into a mech, and I'll do that.
I got some questions in the chat. I'm not sure if if that update. I think it's Joe user asking about the IPv2. I'm not sure which version of the IPv the update is for. If it's for the one moving to version 2 of the software, you can go and try it. It's not going to let you update it if it can't. So, and I'm sure there's more info on the site. So, but that's what it reads. It says version 2 for the SX330, because there is an SX330 V1, which is a 35 watt, and then there's the V2, which is a 50 watt, and then the V3, which is 100 watt. So this is the update for V2. So and then there's a V2S, which is a 60 watt, and then the V3S, which is 150 watt. So
I'm glad one of us is keeping up with all the IP things.
Agreed.
I have not been.
A little underwhelming, by the way, with a 1.5 ohm K-Fun, but
I would imagine.
This is 18490 mech mode.
Are you done talking about your garbage? Anyways, so I want to give a shout out to another fellow reviewer, a buddy of ours, a new watcher, I guess I would say, not listener, Frank the Tank. He sent us a cool little message today, so appreciate it. And thank you for watching. Yeah, Frank the Tank. So yeah, he did a little nice little write up for us. He does a lot of game reviews and stuff. So thanks for watching. So all right, are we ready for the unveiling?
I think we should bring in our boy.
Yeah, I don't know that it's really an unveiling. He's been here before. He was just here before under different pretenses.
Well, that pretense.
I don't think the pretenses.
Well, the man was here before he had.
Sean has a word, doesn't he?
Yeah, well.
He knows how to chop them down and he knows how to spit them up. Yes, very nice.
Did just
That was classic.
Bam!
Like a boss. Welcome, El Senor Vaporator. How are you? You're muted.
Here, I can give you that.
You're still muted. Oh, there you go.
I got him.
All right.
Right on, thanks. How y'all doing?
What's up, man?
What's happening, man?
Well, you're still alive.
Living the life.
Yeah.
You're still alive after blood, sweat, tears, loans.
Indeed.
Some of his hair was sacrificed.
So for those that don't know, this gentleman here is the brains behind Vaporator.com, who he does excellent juice reviews, all that kind of jazz. He's the kind of guy that sits with the juice for days at a time, like juice.
Weeks sometimes.
Yeah.
Comes
Some
up
of
with just a
long time.
yeah.
He's the man that made me a juice snob.
True.
My dude.
Guilty.
But just recently, he said he's wanted to step in and do this himself, and he's been working on stuff for I don't know how many months have you been working on your initial set of flavors?
Some of this stuff's been over a year.
Yeah.
The story's all on the About Us page of the website. But all that time I was making reviews, writing reviews and tasting all this juice. I was busy cooking up my own stuff, and it was a lot of really simple, basic stuff. Most of my time was devoted to other people's juice. But I started. Things went from really simple to more complex pretty quickly. And my first flavor I was working towards, my first complex flavor that I was working towards was Forever Young. I got caught up halfway and came out with this juice called My Sweet One, which I ended up pulling back and just relaunched on the site tonight after revamping it a bit. But over the course of a year, Dark Star, Forever Young, and Lushington all came together. There were a couple others that I was selling to the locals at the local vape meets, and they got really popular. People were coming by the house to buy juice, and I kind of felt like this was the time, and I didn't really have a whole lot of choice. So
Did you feel a little like a dealer? 'Cause it sounds like
When the neighbors start calling the cops on you because they see people coming in and out of your house. Straight up revolving door.
It was. I mean, all the time I was doing it, I felt really bad because I was one of those guys who railed on where did your juice come from. I
Yeah.
was I was that guy who said, I don't want to vape your juice. What if it was made in your kitchen? And then I was going home and making juice in my kitchen and selling that. And I felt really terrible about that. Um, I, as quickly as I could, as soon as I knew this was for real, I mean, the first thing we did was start looking for a place that was suitable, something that was going to be adequate, that would meet the AEM SA standards. Even though I certainly can't afford to be a member of that group yet, I like their standards. I'm not one of those guys who sees the need for like an ISO 8 clean room. I was a cook and a chef for 2 decades of my life. I spent in various kitchens, and your food's not prepared in a clean room. I don't really see why e-liquid needs to be prepared in a clean room, but it should be prepared in a clean room.
In a
Right.
clean room, yeah. No.
And that, regardless of how many times I would sterilize the granite countertop with bleach water, I still felt bad making juice in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So the entire operation was eventually done completely legitimate. We are licensed, we are insured, we have a place, we have our tax receipt hanging on the wall, and we're mixing juice in a real environment where it's more appropriate.
Sure.
And that's something I'm really proud of, something that I think a lot of people tend to misunderstand. Bathtub juice, I just see in the chat. Exactly. Like,
Yep.
you want to buy juice for $2.99 for a 10 mil? $2.99 for a 30 mil, I saw posted earlier on Reddit.
Yep.
The first thing you better ask yourself is, where is that juice coming from? Because it costs a lot of money to have all of these things.
That's right.
No,
And that's something you mentioned earlier, and it's something I wanted to call out to make sure, because your price point is, because I know you were shooting for the 50 cents a mil,
Where I
price.
want to be.
And honestly, just from me, I should let you talk for just a minute because I have something to say about it too. So go ahead.
No, I mean, 50 cents a mil is where I'd really like to be. And I was able to get the 120 mil bottles down to that point. But the 30 mil bottle, I simply can't afford to do that yet. Especially right now when I'm launching and coupon codes are going out left and right to just about everyone, so I can get out there and have people taste the juice. I mean, I haven't had anybody taste my juice and say, I don't like that. With the exception of people who don't like a particular flavor in the juice. If somebody doesn't like coconut, you're not going to like coconut. Or banana, great example. But for the most part, everybody was behind me. Everybody said, you have to do this. This is the time. This is right. You make great juice. You keep at it, and you have a goal. You'll be successful. And it was a lot of those people telling me that really got me to do it. And if we were going to do it, we were going to do it right.
I just laughed because it was funny because he says about a year ago, and he's right. And here's what would happen: we go to the vape meets, and he'd be sitting over there with these little bottles. I'm like, hey, what you got? Here, taste this. Damn, that tastes amazing. Oh yeah, great, blah blah. And then you wouldn't hear anything about it. Like, he's not making this juice anymore. Oh man, and then another meat would come by, and he'd have some other flavors there. I'm like, this is some good shit. Why are you not selling this? It's like, oh, I want to get it right. Here's another guy who spends just days, weeks. I don't even know if he spent months with juice when he was doing his reviews, and he's gonna be just that anal with his juice that he's gonna be making.
Yeah.
And that was just so frustrating because it's been a year of just, where's the juice? Where's the juice? Oh, I'm going to do this and do that, and then things would change, and he would come up with another juice, and and he'll sit there and nod his head all day because some of the awesome juice that he had made, I just dumped a whole gallon of this down. I'm like, why? It tastes fine to me. Don't do that. But I got to give it to him. He made his tweaks and changes, and I could taste the difference. And finally, he was able to get the business up and going, and has a place where you can go and pick up your juice and see where your juice is made. It's not behind smoke and mirrors. I've been there. It's a very secure place, and the place that he's doing this in is super clean. Not that I didn't trust the guy, but I actually helped him out, and I wanted to see, where he was going to be running this, because you know what, and I tell this to everyone when they ask me, where do you get juice? What juice do you get? And I say, you know what, other than testers and things that I've gotten, and I'd say 90% of the juice that I vape is from people that I personally know. It's from people that and not everybody can do that, but if I'm going to go to somebody else and say, you got to try this juice, I feel more comfortable saying, I know where it's made, I know the person who makes it, I know the ingredients that he's using, the quality of everything.
Right.
Unless he's messing up as he's mixing, there's nothing else that can go wrong when I, tell someone, hey, try his juice.
Right.
So
That's one of the reasons why we send guys to specific shops too. It's one of the reasons why I've always sent people, at least locally, over to Vapors Knoll, because those are guys who have a pretty massive juice lab. They're also guys, and I don't want to say too much about it, but I just saw it the other night, who just bought an 11,000 square foot facility for a lab and office. I mean, they are investing major money to make sure that they do shit right.
And seeing people like that, people like Raider, Lab Rat, that are actually, and that's gonna be so hard to do. I mean, you're just starting out, and you want to start out legit.
Yeah. It's funny too, because these are guys who aren't putting out a new flavor every week. These are guys who aren't putting themselves out as far as they possibly can, or opening up a new brick and mortar every 6 months. This is all stuff that happens off the record that people don't.
This was overwhelmingly, this money overwhelmingly came from our personal finances.
Yeah.
This was our money. We're out on the line, but we believe in this product, and we believe that if you just taste it, given not everybody's gonna like every flavor, that will always be the case. But there's a juice there that you will love. I worked so many hours and poured so much juice down the drain until I achieved what I was after, which is a sense of balance between the flavors. I mean, with something as simple as Lushington, it's just at its very essence peaches and cream.
Yeah.
But it had to be the right combination of peach flavors to get that right.
It's so much more than peaches and cream, though. Yeah. It is.
It
the
is
most accurate peaches and whipped cream by a long shot that I have ever had.
Thank you. I strive for that sense of balance where, it's great when the juice is incredibly complex, like Dark Star is complex, and everybody tastes something different, and the longer it sits, the more flavor it develops.
Coconut s'mores custard, man.
That's Ahmed's joy right there, Dark Star.
Dude, it is so. It's like it tastes to me like sometimes it tastes like a sophisticated almond joy.
That's a very good descriptor. It's interestingly, there's no chocolate in it at all.
I know.
Isn't that the worst? That's why
it's coconut s'mores custard.
I tell people all the time, like, Raider will give me a juice. Yeah, what you taste? I'm like, dude, I'm not even going to tell you what I taste because it tastes damn good to me. I'm not one of those types of people that can sit there and go, I taste lemon zest and I taste some mint leaves. No, it tastes fucking good. That's all that matters. I'm not going to give you the description.
But that really is the thing that a lot of people don't realize, right? The amount of things that happen that no one sees, do things the right way. The guys like Raider and Bombies and the Knoll and Lab Rat, and these guys are doing.
Which, if you know that, right, you know that it costs, like a nickel to make the juice in here, right? And somebody...
Well, I wouldn't go that low, but it's cheap. It's certainly below $2-3.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that feeling of staring at 1,000 bottles,
and
knowing that you can't do anything because your business license hasn't come through yet, or the fire inspector hasn't been through the office yet. And if he walks in there and you're mixing juice, you're screwed.
Yeah,
that's a huge fine right out of the gate, and we don't have money to pay fines.
Now you talk about prices as a startup too, and I do ask this because I know like a company like the Knoll, they're a pretty big company. they've just switched their non-premium flavors to like $12 at 30 mil, $13 at 30 mil. But they're a big, well-established company. I know you eventually want to hit that 50 cent a mil mark.
I do on a 30 mil bottle. Yeah, that's my goal. Is I want to have that down to $15. I don't know if it's going to be 3 months from now, 6 months from now, or a year from now, but at the end of the day, that's where I want to be. A lot of people set that as their bar for when they'll buy a juice versus when they won't.
Sure.
And that's a really arbitrary number to pick out. It's a nice round number, but
It's a nice round number.
yeah, there are juices that are worth, the amount of money that people are asking for them. Expensive juices that are worth every dime, and there are juices that are dirt cheap and still not worth it. It's when it all comes down to value.
Yep.
It's about value, not price. And I like to think, I sure hope that everybody who buys my juice, like they got a good deal, that it was a good value.
Well, we also have to remember here, because I know you've got this ideology in your mind, and you want to hit this number. And honestly, speaking for myself, that's the number that I stick at, right? Almost all of the juices that I vape are right about that same price point. But we are talking about $3 difference. It's $18 instead of 15.
It is.
Talking about 5 ponds here.
Oddly enough, $18 is my number. $18 at 30 mil is my number.
18 is also my number.
Because when you look into, how much it goes in to do this right, that's why I put my number at $18 a bottle instead of $15 a bottle. Now, don't get me wrong, I love $15 a bottle. I love $12 a bottle. But I'm perfectly comfortable with $18 a bottle when I know it's being done right.
When you know it's being done right, that's right.
But so we say there's less than, let's say there's less than $3 in every bottle, and that's gross average over every bottle.
Yeah, depends on the bottle and the
Yeah,
strength and all
people
that.
who are here, and for the people who don't know, what are the other stuff that goes into this? Let's talk a little bit about what else goes into this. What else goes into that cost?
Everything starts with becoming a company. So there's the cost of filing the LLC. That's not outrageous. Then there's the actual space, which is outrageous because you're banking that your business is going to be successful. You sign. This is not month to month. I'm in this lease for, the next 23 months, whether I'm a success or not. There's deposits on that space. Then there's your stock. You have to buy bottles. You have to be prepared for a huge hit, even though that's not going to come the first week. Your juice might get out there, and suddenly you get a bunch of wholesale orders.
Right.
And you need to be prepared. So there's 1,000 bottles that were sitting in the shop pretty much on day one, in the various sizes. Labels. A lot of people don't think of labels. Labels are really expensive.
If you want them to look good.
Yeah, if you want.
Well, look, we're selling. I want to be a professional company. I'm not writing on your labels what the nick strength is. There's a different label for every nick strength, and it comes down to a certain. I guess it's a certain outlook that I have as a chef, that the first thing you taste with is your eyes, and if the bottle doesn't look pretty, then you don't have that same sense of anticipation. And we kept our labels really clean and simple, and we actually just redid them to bring them. I thought they were a little plain. There was a little too much white on them, so
I was just going to say, I'll be honest, you could probably use a little bit more going on your label, personally.
And there is. The new labels have the big square logo rather than the long rectangular one. The warning is here; it's boxed in. It's a more complete label. It looks more professional, better. But there were the labels, the bottles, all the things like cleaning products, furnishing the office, PCs for the office. I can't bring my home PC, the one I've been using, here to talk to you guys now, to the office. I actually have 2 PCs in the office, one in the mixing room and one in the office. Then there was all the city and county stuff, all the licenses. You got to pay for the fire inspection. You got to build a website. I use Shopify, as you can see if you look at the bottom of the site. And Shopify means you pay for that. I pay for transaction fees in addition to the credit card processing. We pay per month for certain apps to make the website work, like the shipping app. that gives us carrier calculated shipping. So when you, and I know that that's not working for everybody just right, if you order something tonight and you get a really crazy shipping price, choose the lowest shipping price offered and you will be refunded any monies that were charged extra. I just wanted to say that real quick. And then there's the insurance. That was the big shock to us at the end was, when we think we're all done and we're signing the lease, and so you need your own general liability insurance. We cover everything outside the office, inside the office, and what happens to your product afterwards is your responsibility.
And that's super expensive. And there's not a lot of insurance companies that want to cover anything that deals with nick.
Well, and I thought it was crazy too. The speaking about the nick too, and guys, actually doing a physical.
There we go.
We're actually doing a physical inspection, and sure enough, he had the credit card guys coming by to make sure he wasn't going to be scamming people.
I forgot about that completely. They came by to make sure to check stock and inventory. They wanted to make sure that we had the stock and inventory on hand to actually be a legitimate juice company.
Yep. And that's not, and all this is not counting hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars of juice that you've dumped down the drain.
Yeah, I mean, gallons have gone down the drain. I had an incident with Nick that was 3 months old that I had bought and had treated properly, had been in the freezer, and when it came out and thawed out, it smelled good, it looked good. I made juice with it, I sold juice with it, and phone call after phone call. My Nick is oxidized. My juice is bad. Something's wrong with it. It tastes like ash. All those bottles had to be reimbursed, and any other juice that I had previously made with that was pulled from shelves and poured down the drain. There's a lot of things that you don't take into account, and when that happened, I freaked. Like, I had almost a complete breakdown. I ended up calling, vendors that I know and I'm friends with, like Scott. I called Steve, the guy who used to run S&G, to kind of talk it through and just get it off my chest and say out loud that, oh my God, this just happened, and I just had to pour, right off the bat, it was 32 ounces I had in a house that were made for something else right down the drain, plus 20 bottles that were already boxed up and shrink wrapped and ready to go. I mean, that hurts, and I didn't see, and I consider it a lesson learned. I switched my Nick supplier, and this is a very reliable supplier that way more than half of the vendors out there use. I'm not going to say who it is.
Yeah.
I'll tell somebody in chat right now that it's not the best Nick.
You've definitely given an inside look into everything. Talking about getting the shop going and making the juice, which I think is kind of funny because a lot of juice makers treat that as, hey, I'm Oz hiding behind the curtain here, and you're not going to know what goes on here and what we're doing and what I'm using and that stuff. So, and I think that goes into also the humbleness that goes when you're making your juice, because it's like you're not sitting there trying to overhype it. It's the juice the responses that and I've seen it firsthand, the responses that he gets from people that have tried the juice at the meets and stuff like that. And of course, there's never going to be the best juice ever, okay? Because I think everyone's taste is different.
Yep.
So a juice that tastes good to you might taste not so good to somebody else. So, but typically the reactions are, I've been vaping for about a year. I've tried all these different juices, and this is something that definitely stands out. And I could do, I'm telling you, when I first got the first bottle of Forever Young that I got from you was at one of the meets, and just by vaping that at the meet, I knew that it was going to be an all-day vape, and it has. I mean, I have it in my Squonker. I've had it in this thing, and kept refilling it since Vape Mania. So it's one of those, and that's what I personally look in a juice. I don't want to be spending money on juice and only dripping it every so often. Right? I want to be able to put something in a tank, put something in a bottle for a drip, and run it a week. and that's just how I am. Everybody's going to be different. Some people like to change a juice daily, but hey, you have a few different RDAs, you have a juice in there. It's nice to have it in there for a week. And I think you have to have a special kind of juice to be able to do that, right? You want something that you're not going to get tired of. You want something that you're not easily going to get vapor's tongue, and that you're going to enjoy. So.
Well, and it's not to take a knock on other juice vendors, but when we say this, Mount Baker has their thing, and that's their thing. It's a very simple blend for a very, very affordable price, and that's their thing.
Yep.
More power to them. Complete and total respect for that. This is gallons dumped down the drain because it's not fucking perfect.
Yeah.
It's not exactly where he wants it. Like,
That's
every time I've talked to you, you are a picky son of a bitch.
Oh, look, coming from one picky son of a bitch to another.
Like, when it comes to juice, this man is on a higher horse than me.
Oh, absolutely.
Look, it comes down to the same. Look, for everything else in my life, I am the furthest thing from a perfectionist. But when it came to food, which was my first passion, when it came to cooking, I was a perfectionist, especially when I had that job of executive chef, and nothing left the kitchen without me seeing the plate, touching the food, making sure that the steak that's supposed to be medium rare is medium rare, and the chop that's going out is cooked properly. I had my hands in everything, so much so I was really overworked. I was a little difficult about letting other people cook food at all. I was taking over the grill from my grill guy. I was really, really anal about making sure everything was perfect, and I find myself doing the exact same thing with juice. If it's not 100% perfect, it doesn't leave the kitchen, and that's the way these things go. I've had, like Suspicious Minds, which just went live on the site tonight, it's been close for weeks. I've sent samples out to so many different people. I know some of you guys got samples of that, and you guys didn't get the finished product. You got like 2 versions behind the finished product, and what you got was good, but I still felt like once it steeped out, the banana was too strong, and it wasn't overpowering. I don't even know if half the people, if they could tell the difference between the version I sent you and the version I'm launching, but I could tell the difference. And at the end of the day, yeah, I make this juice for sale. This is my business, but I need to love it. I have to absolutely love it before it goes out, and that's why I pulled flavors back too. Like, yeah, I was selling my sweet one at the meets, but I didn't like it. I liked it at the beginning, but it became cloyingly sweet. It was no fun anymore. There was nothing to it but just sweet, and it needed a change. So
Well,
taking it back, I put all the percentages back. I tweaked it. I added new flavors, and it went through a bunch of different variations, some that were completely different from the original, and came back to a place that is really similar to what I used to sell, but now it's got that balance that I'm so, like, that's my goal. That's the end result. If it's not balanced, it's not ready to go.
So do you want to talk about the reason for the 0, 3, and 6, and is there ever going to be anything higher?
There will never be anything higher listed on the site. If somebody has a specific request higher than that, I will consider making it for them. Certainly just about anybody watching the show in chat, I'm happy to make it for. But you need to understand the juice is dripping juice. I would say don't put it in a Clearo, but I'm hearing from people left and right that it seems to work just fine in a Clearo.
It works perfectly fine in a Clearo.
Works good in a K-phone.
And it works really good in a K-phone.
Yeah.
It's all max VG, but again, I'm all about flavor. So max VG in some of those juices are only as high as I think 71 or 72%, and in other flavors it's close to 90. It gets as much flavor as it needs. I'm not here to make you juice that blows enormous clouds. I love that it does that, and that's great. But I use Max VG because it delivers this incredibly smooth vape.
Yeah.
And that's more important to me than the clouds. I like big clouds, but they're a novelty, and they wear off really fast.
I haven't gotten sick of Dark Star clouds.
But I'll tell you that depending on what you put it in, it changes significantly. And this is a conversation that we had a little bit pre-show. Lushington is my jam from this guy. I love it. I think it's fantastic. I threw it in a Kanger Mega Tank, and it was a pretty good peaches and cream. It was about an average peaches and cream. It wasn't bad. I threw it in a K-Fun. It's candied peaches and cream. Really good. Threw it in a dripper, though, and it's fresh peaches and fresh whipped cream.
And that's the end goal.
Fucking
And
perfect.
the juices were designed on a dripper. To be honest, none of them have been tasted or tested by me in anything else. I don't like rebuildable tanks. I don't own anymore. And I have no reason to test these things on anything else. This is dripping juice. It's on the website. It's called the Dripper's Paradise. Yes, it will work in these other things, but I don't know what kind of flavor you're going to get at the end of it. Now that I know they wick, I'm definitely going to pick up a Clearo and see what they taste like. I won't invest in a K-Fun because it'll never get used. I'll get myself a little Arrow or something and try them out. I'm curious, especially because you mentioned the different peaches that you get, where I've never tasted anything but that really fresh peach. Mm-hmm. And there are different. There's more than one peach in that mix, and that you pick up on different ones certainly speaks to maybe what wattage.
Wattage and airflow. I'm sure. Because and it's the same way. Like you throw it in a Rose or a K-Fun, and you get a nice. It's not as fresh as you will get in a dripper, but it's awfully good. It's really
absolutely
good.
It's still really, really good, but it is a different peach.
It is a different peach.
I think when I got the samples to try, or from what I understand, is two versions before the final of Dark Star. I think I was vaping it on a 0.35 on my Solaire. This is like, I think this is pre-chuff top, or it was around pre-chuff. Oh, yes, I was like at 0.25 then. And on Dark Star, it's like you get a lot of flavor, but it's a subtle flavor, yet it's bright. My big regret is not putting it in my Odin. Because I'm sure it kicks even more ass on there. But it's nice that I haven't seemed to hit a power roof with it.
I remember the betas for you even took a while, because when we were talking, you were like, well, they're almost done. I need to tweak some more. Then I'll send you. No, it's not quite there yet. I'll get it out. And you take your time, and that's good, because the end result was fantastic juice.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody did ask. Joe User asked, what dripper and build were you using?
Yeah, I replied in chat, but I use a lot. I have a lot of different addies. I've got my Atomic, which is never far. I find the Atomic is really good for certain juices and getting that intensity and nailing down what I want from the flavor. I use my Plume a lot. I really like it. I have Helios. I have a Tugboat that's running around. A Tobe. I even have some Igos that I still use and love and have no problems with. I have so many addies, and and I see, Joe, I'm right around the same boat with you. I'm usually at 9 wraps of 28 gauge, and I get it, but I'm using a really small, it's one of those, brass screwdrivers that came with some addy I bought months and months ago. It's super tiny. You couldn't even get, cotton or rayon through the coil, so it's always on a bed. Occasionally, I'll do it on a drill bit and run the rayon through it. But I think I get better flavor or more accurate flavor when I use rayon beds than I do running my wick through the coil.
What wattage are you typically testing at too? I
test everything. I shouldn't say everything. I test from like 30 up to whatever mod I'm using is max. If I have the Raptor with me, I push it all the way, and it's not comfortable, but the flavor's still okay. I usually am around 55, 60, so I'm either maxing out my Duke, or I use the Sig 100, or when I'm at my desk, my mass mod is always here.
I think his juices, to me, they work well at any range, really. I mean, I've had, and now that I didn't get to talk about this, but next week I'll go into the plus and minuses of the DNA 40, but temperature control. I've had his juice on on a Helios, on my Mini, and I have it in the Magma and the Squonker, and that's at like 27 watts. And now in the Sigelli, in this temperature control going up to 450 degrees on the coil, if you want to go by that. So I think the range is. I will say that I think, and some people might share this opinion, I think Dark Star does better at the higher wattages, something above 50, and not necessarily so much higher wattage, but a warmer vape. We'll just say that. At a warmer vape, Dark Star is nice. Lushington, I think, is. It's kind of funny that Anksy mentioned the whole, maybe putting a little bit of a cooling factor in there for himself, because and I think a cooler vape with Lushington is better.
Yeah.
So that's something you can just get the juice, try it on what you got, experiment with it, and it's going to taste great either way.
Yep. I do have a question from chat. JJ Perps asked if you ever considered putting a sample pack out.
Yeah, it's something I want to do. I don't ever want to put my juice in plastic. I will for samples, like literally samples that are being tossed in to the orders and betas. They can go in plastic because I feel like that juice is going to be used up quickly enough. But I don't want to sell juice in plastic bottles.
No.
And there's various reasons. First off, your steep time is thrown off. There could be leaching issues. And I don't like plastic. I feel like if you really care about what's inside the bottle, it should be in a pretty package. And
pretty
I mean, that goes
stable
back
too,
to
right?
cooking.
You get a nice stability for there's no leaching of the adhesives and all that stuff that people say that happens if it sits around. I mean, even my 120 is.
Yeah, it's all going in glass, and at some point in the future, yes, I would like to buy 15 ml glass bottles and a sample pack. Right now, I really can't afford to buy more bottles. I'm pretty well stocked, and as things pick up, maybe a month down the road, 2 months down the road, that may very well be an option.
Yeah.
I may do something like I may do a bundle where I'll bundle all three in the 30s and drop the price down to buying, I don't know. I knock the price up. I'll see if I can do that.
I'll be honest. I'm one of those guys who would prefer plastic, just for convenience factor. I actually
totally
take your juice and put it in plastic when I get it.
I understand. There's totally two sides to it. I see the convenience of plastic. I see that plastic doesn't leak like glass can. And for me, at least, there was never a decision to be made. It wasn't even a question of whether I would use glass or plastic. Even when I was just making juice for myself, I was reviewing juice left and right, and those bottles that would take me forever. When I reviewed a juice, if I didn't really fall in love with it, it went into a box, and the box would go to the local vape meets, and that box would be passed around at the vape meets for anyone to take what they want. But the ones that I really liked, and I vaped them dry, I was reusing those glass bottles for myself before I would buy plastic bottles.
It doesn't bother me that much, man. I keep a fresh stock of plastic bottles for that purpose.
I totally understand. Plastic is really convenient, and it doesn't leak. And it's much easier to deal with when you're driving.
And I can fill a K-Fun from a plastic bottle.
Yeah, because you got the needle nose tip.
You can fill the K-Fun from drippers too. It works fine. You just got to get it on the hole just right, and you squirt it right in.
There's a very specific glass bottle that I got a sample in. I think I may have one upstairs, but it's got a plastic like shell over the dropper, so it like threads nicely around the top of the bottle. That makes me so much less pocket paranoid.
Was it child-proof?
Yes.
I had those, and I loved them. I loved those droppers.
Great.
But the bearings break. The bearings break inside and then you can't get your bottle open. So I stopped using them. The last order I bought just the straight droppers without the
I
child.
never had it happen to me with those bottles.
It's happened to me with 3 different bottles, and it happened to one person who bought from me, who brought it back to the vape meet and said that I can't get my juice open, and that's
problematic.
yeah, that bothers me. There's 25 mils of juice left in that bottle, and they can't get it open. I mean, that's an issue. So I really felt like at the time I had no choice, and I will investigate further and see if there's other options for me when it comes to a childproof cap, because I have a kid myself. I'd really like my juice to be in childproof bottles, but they have to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like the positive aspect if you destroy things in your pockets like I do.
Yep.
Sean, we ready for the?
Yeah, we got to do the contest.
Let's do it.
You pulling them up, Masty, or you want me to?
No, you go ahead.
Hold on, let me get stuff.
There's a lot of good ones.
Yeah, tell me about it.
We can do the Raider ones first?
Yeah.
I'm not prepared for this. I didn't know I was doing it today.
What?
I can't wait to see it.
Oh, you just gonna no. I wish people could see when he mutes them. That's the best.
I wasn't talking that time.
It's been on point tonight.
All right, so images then. That one.
Nice.
That one's pretty good, I gotta say.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't know if that was actually done in paint, but it's a lot. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you can cut and paste.
No, you can cut and paste.
So that doesn't count. He's an artist.
Nice.
From Mars
That
Odell.
was hand drawn. It looks like on a Wacom.
Wow.
Wow.
I don't think that counts, but
He said it doesn't count. His comment said it doesn't count.
that one's pretty good. I like that one.
Like some kind of fucking cat.
Bring it back up for a sec. Oh, it is up. I just gotta click on it.
This is
Hang on.
Grateful Plumes.
Tiny pick.
Tiny pig.
Nice.
All right. Kyle on point.
Cease and desist
Nice.
much?
Oh, I like the teeth.
Yeah, the teeth are good in that one.
There's the full version of the other one.
Nice.
That's cool.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Throw them down in the chat.
And there's one more. Cosmo put one on there, right?
No, that was her poem.
Oh, is there poem? Okay.
And then there's a few in the subreddit too.
Yeah, I think there's one on Reddit or two on that.
Yeah, I think there's 2. Actually, there's 3, and you got to zoom in on the one at the train.
That
There's
one was.
one. Yep. Game. And then he said he fixed the stash logo too.
Yep.
So
Taking that literally.
we can confer here in the chat, and I'll start going through and reading the while you guys are doing that. I'll start reading the poems for the
Golly.
E-Holly. Roses are silver, my e-juices are blue. The E-Holly can ride my white rose, even if it pisses off Foo. Alright. Let's see. Where's the next one here? On the couch, I found E-Holly. Another E-Holly. There are too many E-Hollies. I want my E-Holly. Alright. There's E-Holly, where are now? I need you in my life. All your watts from 7 to 35. Big on the outside, tight on the inside. Gonna need some lube tonight. You look so 2012, yet you work so well. Too soon to shelve. E-Holly, where art thou? Help me pick up my Voop game fuck battery drain. There once was a mod called the Holly, and all other tube mods were folly. With Vamo design, I think it looks mighty fine, and 35 watts would keep me quite jolly. Let's see. Oh, Holly, how I long for you. You would never leave my side, and take you into the bathroom when I vooped too. I would take you everywhere I go to show off my mod, and walk into vape meets like a vape god. Oh, Holly, wait, this beer is running through me, but if I had you, I would vape you while I pee. Let's see. Da-da-da-da-da. Christmas is coming. I like the Holly because I'm big, round, and jolly. my ode to the Holly. Let's see. Vooping with my door open, plop plop. Vooping in the E-Holly 35 watt. Vaping on the E-Holly would hit the spot. Cuss my old Vamo burnt the batteries shot. Wake up in my bed, smoke in the air. Not vapor, it's smoke and an orange flare. Jump up and scream because I heard a scare. But an E-Holly mod I will handle with care. So Mast and Anxie, Fubaka and Understudy, give me the E-Holly and be my good buddies. For the hazard of Plumes, not true as a folly, but receiving this mod would end my melancholy. Very nicely done. Does all fresh cotton make your vape taste weird for a bit? I don't think that's part of this.
And Cosmo has
sorry.
a visual film.
And let me just check in the Reddit group and see if we have one in there.
There's one at the bottom of Facebook.
There is?
Yeah, look at the caption under it.
Can you read it?
No, just it's a picture. Click on it and screen share it. She said, "That's my poem."
I can't click on the picture. The one by Diane or Deanne?
Yeah.
I can't click on it.
It's a hippie Lego smelling flowers.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be Vaporator. Minus, I think it's got some tats.
It's pretty accurate.
So
It's on the Facebook.
it's a I don't know, I can't pull it up. It's a hippie smelling roses or daisies.
It's a Lego hippie.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you can't click on it.
All right. So out of those, let's see if you guys. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna pick the. Hey, there's one vote. Okay. 2 votes. Okay. All right. All right. I think we are good to go.
The ballots are cast.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Go ahead, Vaporator. You can announce the winner.
Oh, no, you guys go ahead.
Oh, all right. Go on, Understudy.
The winner of the E-Holly is Keith Samuels.
All right.
Ode to the E-Holly by Bootin' NJ.
Congratulations.
And for the Vaporator juice, somebody refresh my memory. The full line to the first prize, right? And second prize is a 60 ml of your choice.
That's correct. Yeah, the first price full line 5 juices, correct, Vaporator?
Correct.
So
5
second
bottles.
prize goes to.
Second place price.
I'm gonna open up the screen share on this. Goes to Richard Crichton right there.
Nice.
First prize.
Okay, first prize goes to.
Mike.
All right. Breaking out the Microsoft Encarta encyclopedia. Congratulations.
Yeah, dude, that was nice. I like that.
Make sure you guys get us your information. Send us a message, email, text.
Yeah,
Phone?
just message on Facebook or whatever. That works too.
Yep.
And,
I think I know both. I know both of the art guys. I'm friends with them on Facebook. They can message me on Facebook.
Yep, you can send me the info.
Awesome.
Excellent. And make sure they send Nick Strength and the for the 60. Make sure they send Nick Strength and flavor.
Flavor
Mhm.
joy.
Choose wisely.
Indeed.
Again, to anybody who tuned in later, and to anybody who didn't win, if you want to check out Stash E-Liquids and give it a shot, there is a 15% off coupon till the end of the month. Plumes.
Plumes.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
Yeah.
that's good stuff.
Ray, I want to thank you for coming on, man. We had a good time.
What up?
Thank
Absolutely.
you guys so much.
Thank you for breaking everything down, man. The theme of this show really was real talk.
Yeah, man.
Right on.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys having me. It felt good to like get it all out there.
We'll have the after party up shortly. We're gonna probably cut out here quick because we're over.
Peace out, homies.
Peace.
Got that 90s going on.